All right, Padres fans, not a great Monday. Tatis, he is going on the IL. Darvish, he is not making his scheduled start. He is still on the IL. And then there were other moves as well that we can get into. But yeah, not great. So Nando, don't know when he is going to be back. Mike Shildt in his media scrum, he did mention the All-Star break, but we don't know if it's going to be before or after. He wouldn't say. But what we know is it has something to do with the bone. And the Padres, they tweeted out, and we don't like when we see this because that means a lot of injuries happened, a lot of roster moves. It was a long roster move graphic. And Tatis was the first one, 10-day IL with right femoral. I don't know how to pronounce that, but stress reaction retroactive to June 22nd. I have a feeling it's going to be more than 10 days, and it's retroactive. So from today on, it would be less than 10 days, at least the minimum amount of time that he can go and then return by. Like, it's not 10 days from now. It's, 7 days probably? Retroactive to the 22nd. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I think he could return June 2nd. That's a Tuesday. So more than a week from now is when he could return. But Mike Shildt, it seemed like his opinion was, if we're going to do this, let's make sure he's really good to go, and this isn't going to be an issue. So I would not be surprised if it's longer than June 2nd, or excuse me, not June 2nd, July 2nd. I wouldn't be surprised if it's longer than that. They don't want this to be recurring because Tatis can play. Shildt made sure to mention that as well in his scrum. He can play. He's been playing through it. He's been playing through it since, I think Kevin Acee said April, a few weeks back, a couple weeks back maybe, in one of his pieces. So he's been dealing with it for a while. It's just been clear that recently he has not been himself there running in the outfield. Now, he's had some good spurts offensively, and the month of June, I think he's hitting over 300, but he's just not himself in the field. And do you want Tatis DHing hurt, or do you want him, just taking a break here, make sure you're good so that we can have you the rest of the season and not have this quad thing be a big deal? So, the Padres, they've had to deal with injuries. Not Tatis, obviously. Well, kind of, but not literally him on the IL. They've had to deal with Bogarts and Musgrove and Darvish. Let's see. Let's see how they're going to fare without Fernando playing right field every night. We got to remember that Jurickson Profar is banged up as well. I'm sure there's other Padres that are banged up that just aren't saying it publicly because it's a long season, and these guys put themselves through a lot on a daily basis. But Profar, he's probably not going to play every day because with that knee issue, the tendonitis, whatever, patellar tendonitis, whatever it is, it's on and off. Some days it's good, some days it's not so good. So the outfield, I hope most days, is going to be Profar in left, Merrill in center, and then Bryce Johnson or David Peralta in right. Tyler Wade was mentioned as well, so he'll get some opportunities probably. But Eggy Rosario was brought up. Bryce Johnson was brought up. Bryce Johnson replacing Tatis. I mean, who cares who he's replacing? But he's brought up. Azokar was sent down. And Bryce Johnson, he had a pretty good OPS in AAA El Paso. And he's speedy. So I feel like the Padres are like, I mean, why not? It's probably not worse offensively than Azokar. It doesn't seem like Bryce Johnson is bad defensively. So why not? I assume he could play all three outfield positions. 891 OPS with AAA El Paso. So that one feels, I wasn't expecting that. I saw a tweet earlier today before Shildt talked to the media, and it's Azokar's packing his bags. And I'm like, really? Why? I was expecting him to maybe be starting most days, him or David Peralta, with Tatis going on the IL. It really seemed like these last 24 hours, more like last 12 hours, right? I mean, it sure seemed like Tatis was going to go on the IL. He doesn't want to, but I think just long term, you got to think long term on this, and this is probably the right decision by the Padres. So Bryce Johnson's up. He's going to be wearing number 27. Johnny Brito was optioned. Eggy Rosario is also being called up. So let's just run down the full moves here because I know I'm bouncing all over the place. So Tatis IL, Bryce Johnson, up. Adam Mazur, up. Eggy Rosario, up. Burrito, Azokar, option to El Paso. So 3 guys down, Tatis, shelf. 2 guys down, 3 guys up. So Mazur recalled to start tomorrow. And I didn't think that they could do that because they just sent him down, but I guess they can because of an injury. And this is what it is. Darvish is on the IL. He was on the IL for one thing, and now it's another thing. So maybe that's the the reasoning that's why Mazur can come right back up. And then Rosario was called up, and there, I mean, it's right in time with some lefties on the mound. So we'll see. Are they doing this so that it allows for more time for Tyler Wade to play the outfield? And so Rosario can kind of fill that spot as a utility infield guy. He could DH some, I guess, right? So we'll see. But the other major news is Yu Darvish, him not making this next start, elbow inflammation. And when I see that, I first saw it from Darnay Tripp. He says here, Yu Darvish will not start Tuesday. He has inflammation in his elbow. Mike Shildt does not believe it's serious, wants to give him more time. Well, and then Dennis Lin, I think, said something like, I'll pull it up, a little elbow inflammation, not much elbow inflammation. I'm pulling it up right now. Here's Dennis. A little elbow inflammation is what Shildt said. Mazur starting tomorrow. I don't care if Dennis is saying a little elbow inflammation. I see elbow inflammation anywhere, and this was not a previous injury. It just popped up, and he didn't make his last bullpen, and the Padres weren't telling reporters why until Shildt made this announcement today. I see that, and that's concerning. I mean, Darvish isn't getting any younger, and he's dealing with injuries all over the place. And this just adds to it, right? We thought that we were getting possibly a frontline starter back in Darvish. I mean, he's pitched well at points this year. He went like 4 or 5 starts without allowing a run before he got smashed against the Yankees at home, right? I think it was that Friday night game where Soto, Stanton, and Judge homered. But he's had some good outings, some really good outings this year. And I was hoping that we were going to get that back. But now we're going to be relying on Adam Mazur for an unknown amount of time. We don't know when Darvish is going to come back. We don't know when Tatis is going to come back. We don't know when Joe Musgrove is going to come back. He has elbow inflammation as well, and he's just starting to throw. He was throwing weighted balls, I think, over the weekend. So he's just starting. He's not coming back till late July, maybe early August. We'll see. We just don't know when, you know? Don't know about Campy. I'm hoping, I think Shildt said, hopefully it's like only the 10 days, but don't know about that. Bogarts with the shoulder, don't really know there as well. So the Padres are getting tested, and good teams find a way. The Atlanta Braves, they dealt with no Ronald Acuna Jr. in 2021. They made some smaller additions, you know, at the time that we thought before the deadline, and look what happened there. It can happen. It's June 24th. Tatis will be back. I hope Darvish will be back. I hope Musgrove will be back. We'll see what happens with Bogarts. Seems like he will be back. Just don't know when. But it's time for others. It's an opportunity for others to step up. Merrill continued to play well. Arise, play well. Cronenworth, I mean, what a weekend he had. Continue to hit there. Manny Machado, step up. Right? Without the, Profar, he's battling with the knee, right? On and off. I mean, we're relying on him still, I don't think we can sit here and rely on Bryce Johnson to produce offensively, It's going to have to be on those other guys. And Manny, it seems like things are heading in the right direction. He thinks that his swing is heading in the right direction, feeling better. But we'll see. I still, like I was talking with Jim Russell on my show earlier today when he came on, and I'm like, I'd still like to see more from Manny. I don't want to sit here and say right now, yeah, he's definitely back. I'm seeing encouraging signs, but I want to see more of a sample size there. So it's a roller coaster of a season. Shildt might not want to say it, but it's what it is. Started the year, can't win at home, but win on the road. Now it's flip-flop. They're winning at home, not winning on the road. Good weekend, and then bad Monday afternoon with these announcements. Johnny Brito, he's going, by the way, to AAA to build up as a starter. And why are they doing that? Well, probably because they feel like, I mean, we have the relievers to we have relievers if we need them to come up for a little bit and pitch. Tom Cosgrove, we just brought him up. We have relievers that can pitch. Brito was really a long man, and let's build him up as a starter. And it can be insurance in case you don't want Adam Major starting. You have Brito built up. You can have him come pitch for Adam Major, and Major send him down if Major doesn't find it. You could say the same thing about Randy Vasquez as well. If you want to move a reliever down and you can have Vasquez go be a reliever, a long man, and then you have Brito be a starter. It just gives them more insurance. I'm okay with it. And then if you need a long man out of that bullpen, there's guys that can pitch multiple innings, and you just find a way. I know Kolek, he threw 40 pitches the other night, so he can do some of that as well. But you got to hope that Waldron keeps pitching well, that Cease can give you length, more length than what he has been giving. Vasquez, keep you in games. Major, keep you in games. Who am I missing? Michael King, give you length. Cease, King, and Waldron, you're relying a lot on those guys right now. With no return date known for Darvish and for Musgrove. And then Tatis, obviously, going on the IL. That's a blow for the offense, no doubt about it. The good news, though, is it seems like things will get better for Tatis with time not on that quad. If this was a situation, I think Manny, right, last year with the elbow, where him playing wasn't making it worse. He just had to have surgery, and he was just going to play till they got officially eliminated. This is where Tatis could play on it, but it's not going to get better if he keeps playing on it. It's only going to get better if he rests it. So that's what they're doing here. And the good news is it's June 24th. It's not September 24th. If it was September 24th, Tatis would still be playing. He'd still be in the lineup. He wouldn't be on the IL. That's how I think. That's how I feel about it. So not great news. Give your thoughts in the comments. But I'm hoping the Padres can stay afloat here. There's 17 games until the All-Star break. So maybe that's the best thing, is for Tatis to rest all the way through it. And then you get the All-Star break. And then they've got the 3-city road trip. Maybe that's when he returns. They don't want to push it. I guess it maybe a factor is how the team is playing. But do you want to rush him back before the quad totally feels good? And then him come back and he's still hurting? What, you're going to put him on the IL again? I think they really want to make sure that he is good, regardless of what the record is. And the good news is the National League, it's pretty mediocre in the wild card picture. The Padres are 500 and they're in a wild card spot right now. And I know it's June 24th, so really who cares if they're in a spot or not? But my point is, they're going to hang in there, I feel, without Tatis, because I don't see other teams smoking the Padres in terms of, a 10-game stretch, them going 9-1 and the Padres, going 500, let's say, or 4-6. I don't see a team doing that, or not even a team, because a team can do it, but multiple teams. I don't see that happening. So that's the good news here. It'll be one thing if it's clear, okay, here's 6 teams and then here's everyone else. And the Padres aren't in those 6 teams and they're in the everyone else category. It's a lot of teams right now fighting for those wild card spots. There's not a ton of teams that have separated themselves. So I guess that's the good news here. It's going to be interesting, though, this trade deadline approach. I know the Padres are probably focused on the draft, obviously, because that's before the deadline. But, man, it's going to be interesting how they play these next few weeks and what the health of some of these stars are going to be and how that's going to affect how AJ and the front office goes about it.